Ladies and gentlemen, comedian entertainer Daniel Songer.
Hello, I hope you enjoyed my Story Act 255. This now is Story Act 256, and this one is titled The Professor. He was born a genius and graduated at the top of his class. Throughout his life, he achieved great recognition for his future designs and his ability to create awareness of the future. His net worth was billions. However, his greatest goal was to give his knowledge to the world and be a professor of engineering, research, and development. In his classes of study, a student approached him and offered herself to him sexually for an A in the class. The professor told the student no. She had to learn the class just like everyone else. The student reported the professor to the authorities that he had sexually abused her. Because there was no evidence, they could not prosecute him. Instead, the university asked him to leave. The professor became an outcast. No one would allow him access to teaching or pursuing his dreams. The professor lived a modest life and lived in a small house. The professor then began to devise a plan that would ensure his dream of the future. In his house, he built an elevator shaft that went down 100 feet into the earth. He then built a mansion of gold that had everything to sustain life forever. The professor had developed a power source that was way beyond current technology. The elevator door only appeared on the professor's command and then 100 foot down to a mansion of gold. There were 3 floors. The bottom level was the party place. It was a palace, entertainment for people he chose to be in his life. The middle floor was living area and a gourmet kitchen. The top floor was designed for individual achievements and an elaborate sleeping environment. As decades moved forward, the professor had chose 10 men and 11 women to live with him in his mansion of gold, and these people he chose exercised the meaning of unconditional love. Day after day, the professor educated the chosen ones on his knowledge of the future and his skills of engineering, research, and development. Suddenly, the day he had always expected came upon him. The New World Order began to search him out. They had been watching him for decades, and now they are in his house. Soon they discover the hidden elevator door and the 100-foot deep shaft. The professor had dug a tunnel to the ocean and had a ship ready for the New World Order breach of his home. The professor, the 10 men, and the 11 women boarded the ship. The professor had long since designed and built a city 10,000 feet under the ocean. The professor and the dream seekers escape on their journey to the city under the sea. The city was enclosed under a dome that blocked satellite probing and reflected generated energy. Peace and tranquility encompassed the city, and it began to have offspring. The dream seekers grew for a decade. Suddenly, the New World Order had discovered the city under the sea. Knowing that this day would come upon them, the professor had 5 spaceships on the launch pad, ready for the invasion. The people of the city under the sea were then ordered to board their designated spaceship. They launched through the ocean and onto the stars. The professor left a probe in stealth mode to watch the Earth from afar. The professor and the dream seekers had traveled light years when the transmission came in from the probe. The Earth had several blasts of light, and then suddenly the Earth was surrounded by light. The professor orders all spaceships to turn back to Earth. He knew the New World Order had been destroyed, and now the professor and the dream seekers land their spaceships on the new Garden of Eden. Writer Daniel R. Songer, I really hope you enjoyed that one. Okay, and Happy New Year, The Professor. Thank you.